Hey, how's everyone doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to Fan Talk. This is our first show here at WXAC. Little description of the show, we're just going to be doing some talk about sports, football specifically, NFL. The starter's going to introduce myself and my favorite team. My name is Marcus Vargas. My favorite team, believe it or not, Kansas City Chiefs.
And I'm John Hendrickson, and my favorite team is, of course, Philadelphia Eagles, reigning Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, nice. I'm Greg, Giants fan, better team than both.
We'll see how the season plays out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alright, so we're going to get started with something we just like to call John's List. We don't really know much about it. All we really know is it's a couple of players that will never win a Super Bowl. So John, if you want to take over right now, let us know.
So just to start about this one, it all started with a debate about a quarterback. One of the Chiefs quarterbacks, as he got his new contract with the Redskins, and that's Alex Smith. And we were having a little debate, and I said, I like him. I think he's good.
Right.
I have this gut feeling about not winning a Super Bowl. So I decided to make a list of quarterbacks who I believe will not make the Super Bowl. This is just complete guess. I don't care if they're good. Actually, I think a lot of them are good. But so I got Blake Bortles, Jaguars. Never winning.
Great. Let's just talk about that one already. Let's just talk about it. Greg.
I'm not a fan of that pick. I think the Jaguars are a great team, first of all, and I think that Blake Bortles is a good quarterback. I think he gets the job done. He's a little risky. He takes a lot of, he's very risky.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of risks,
Yeah.
but he does it when he needs to because his team's offense is honestly not that great.
That's true.
Running back, I think they're okay.
Fournette can stay
Fournette,
healthy.
yeah. But like wide receiver wise, I think he's got a tough job trying to get that ball anywhere he can.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a young, athletic Eli Manning.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Just the luck.
So,
the guy gets lucky.
We have seen before, a la Eli Manning, great defenses win championships. So I'm just want to, yeah. So let's dive deep. Like, why don't you think Blake Bortles is going to the chip?
I just don't believe it. It's simply gut. I'm simply just going with gut. I made this list completely based off of gut. That's all it is.
All
Just gut feelings.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get the number 2.
Yeah, it's a pretty healthy list. So next up, I got Matthew Stafford, the Lions, and this guy, I love Matthew Stafford. Was a believer of him since he got drafted, and just I have this feeling in my gut the team cannot build around him. I don't trust any of it. It's not gonna happen.
I second that.
Yeah.
There's no way he's never going to win.
No. Unless the only way Matthew Stafford wins a championship is if he leaves Detroit. I mean, the team hasn't had him.
Or they just somehow build around him.
Yeah.
It's like they've never been able to build around
Yeah.
him.
But so like, let's just preface this list like in current status. Yeah. Because obviously anything can happen.
Right, you can't establish it.
Megatron comes back.
Yeah.
It's all over for everybody.
Yeah.
That's maybe.
Oof, if Megatron came back.
That would be great.
All right.
Next up,
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't watch many Dolphins games, so I have that against me. But I don't like him. That's it.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll take that. Go
It's
ahead.
too wishy-washy. I see him win games.
I've owned Ryan Tannehill in a few like deep
I know a lot of
leagues
people that did.
in fantasy football, and I'm not gonna lie, I still sort of can put my faith in him to win
Wow.
games. I think he can win games. At the end of the day, that's what matters.
I feel
Can
like
he win a game?
Can he win a game? But
Yeah.
once when that pressure hits, it's over for him. I mean, we saw it just this last weekend.
He gets hurt.
3-0
Yeah,
Dolphins.
That's why.
Yeah, injuries are another problem. Next up is the big dog. Because this is the proving year. Jared Goff. I got
Alright,
him
Greg.
never winning a Super Bowl.
Greg, I got
And I'm
it here.
okay with eating those words because
Greg,
that
I
is a
got it.
super
What do you
team.
think about this?
I'm a huge LA Rams believer.
Yeah.
Everybody is now.
I mean,
They're the Warriors.
I've believed in them
Warriors
since
of football.
last year. I mean, last year I thought they were going to be studs, but I don't know. This year's insane. They look so good. I don't know how you think he's not going to the Super Bowl at
Well,
some point.
a
He's so young.
disclaimer is last year I made this, and Jared Goff was on that list. So I wanted to stay true to
Okay.
what I said, and I'm sticking to it.
Fair enough.
I feel like come playoff time, they're gonna fold, just like they did last year to the Falcons.
That's
Right?
very true.
It folded.
That was very true.
They were simply a good team.
Yeah.
They were a great team.
I don't think
And the
the
Falcons,
Falcons are an overhyped team. I mean, you look at they got pieces. You got Julio Jones, you got Matt Ryan. Why doesn't Julio Jones have a touchdown? I mean,
No
how many
touchdown
games
for
is
a lot
of weapons.
It's been what?
it's how many games is it? Consecutive games
I
without
can
a
tell you right now, it's over 16 games. It's at least a season's worth of not having a touchdown.
And that's, in my opinion, Julio's the greatest receiver in the league. Like, the way he's built, his skill-wise, everything.
I agree.
Oh, you agree?
I think Julio is
Oh.
the best.
I think he's
receiver.
the most underutilized too,
Yeah.
just because he's the best.
I don't
And
think you can
because
beat that guy. I
yeah.
don't think there's a single person in the league that
fantasy
can beat that
numbers,
guy.
fantasy numbers alone, without scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, very true.
This guy's great.
Very true. Very true.
So yeah, we just got done Jared Goff, right?
Yeah, Jared Goff.
Went on a tangent about.
Right before you get to that next one. I tell our listeners out here, if you're looking for something to do
Oh, what you got, Marcus?
this Saturday, if you're into the arts, there's an arts festival ready. It's an all-day event. You can go explore art. There's going to be live art demonstrations. There's going to be workshops. And there's going to be live music. And then the location is Goggleworks. So again, this Saturday, if you're into the arts, there's a festival in Reading. You can explore art, see dope music, see some demonstrations, and have a good time. Let's get back to it.
Alright, so to start that off, right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, Cam Newton. Cam Newton has never won a Super Bowl. He proved it to me against Denver when I thought, back in that day, I was a Panther believer.
Yeah.
I loved Cam Newton,
Wow.
everything about him,
Yeah.
and they folded and they lost the Super Bowl.
Something happened to him, I think. I think he had it all the way up in that season. He got to the Super Bowl and they just didn't treat it like. I mean, let's just talk about the fumble.
Oh,
You don't dive on the ball there.
you don't dive on the ball, you get added to my list. If you don't hop on that football, you're added to my list.
Yeah. I got no qualms with that. All right.
No qualms.
No qualms.
I think to go along with that, I think he's Matthew Stafford clone,
Mm.
where like the team just won't build around him
Mm.
correctly. I mean, they got McCaffrey, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. No true top elite receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Same as the Lions. Well, kind of, but same as the Lions.
So my next one, because we're getting halfway through this list.
Wow, that's a big
It's
list.
a big list.
Oh,
I got Mitchell Trubisky, and I regret this one a little bit
Wow.
because of how the season started.
wow.
He's looked great. I will give him that. And they got Khalil Mack, which I did not see happen.
Yeah,
Again, a lot of this list is from last year.
that is very true.
But
How you feeling, Greg? How you feeling with that?
I love Mitch.
Yeah.
I wish he was a Giant. I wish he was a Giant so bad. That is. When was he drafted? What,
last year.
Last year.
Last
He
year.
was a rookie last year.
Last year.
Wasn't he?
Second year quarterback.
That's. I don't know where he got drafted. Like what pick he got drafted. I have to look that up.
It was 10th?
No,
He was in top 10.
10th was
Was he?
Pat Mahomes was 10.
Okay.
I thought.
It was 15.
Nah.
If there's any way the Giants could have gotten him,
Yeah.
I'm really mad. I don't think there was, but
Nah. Probably not. I mean,
He's looked great.
yeah, I doubt it because
So
that was a
good.
year. The Giants went to the playoffs that year.
Again,
yeah,
still.
they went to the
Yeah.
playoffs.
So
Again, still not a playoff proven quarterback.
very true.
Add to my list.
Very true.
He's just, oh man, that opening drive against the Packers, he looked phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, there's
I
a
think
lot
he's
of that
looked-
game. There's a lot of that game was on the Bears defense.
Mm-hmm.
For
But
sure.
that opening drive was insane. He went right
I think
down
this
the
whole
field.
season has been
Let me
built on the
correct
Bears
myself.
defense.
Actually, the Bears secondary. That was the issue. Khalil Mack was having a day.
Yeah, he's had a season.
Yeah, you're right.
Not to go too far off track, but going back to Julio, his last touchdown was in week 11 of last year.
Yep. And they
It's
went
been a while.
they had a playoff run too.
Oh my goodness gracious. Week 11.
Yeah.
That's what, 6
Oh no,
weeks.
he got a touchdown in the first playoff game.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, you don't beat
that's
the Rams
enough.
without throwing to Julio.
Yeah.
That's an anomaly. One touchdown in how many games?
2 games in
I think the
playoffs.
Falcons are the biggest anomaly of football. 2 outstanding running backs,
Yep.
1 outstanding quarterback.
Yep.
What, 3 great receivers? I mean, this year's 3, but
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley is right now, but
Animal.
that is the biggest anomaly of football. Just, they can't win.
Yes. With great pieces. They also have great players on defense. Keanu O'Neal. Who they just lose? They just lost a safety, linebacker.
Linebacker.
They've had great players, so there's no reason they shouldn't be winning games.
Makes no sense.
I think their record is 1-3 right now. We'll check this.
Yeah, I think so.
It could be. I don't think they've won more than 1 game.
I'll tell you right now. The Atlanta Falcons have won 1 game.
Yep.
They got 1-3. Who would have seen that coming?
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, after the Eagles beat them in the playoffs last year,
Yeah.
and realizing how bad they throw it, Julio, if they don't do it,
Yeah. They kind of murdered them. They're not in it. I mean, week 1 against the
I just don't
Eagles.
get it.
The
I
same
think,
story.
I think it shows how important chemistry is. It doesn't matter how good
Yep.
you are.
Yep.
Matt Ryan and Julio just do not
They
have
don't play.
chemistry.
They don't play. They have.
You gotta move that somehow, because right now, I think their big trade, you know, you can trade for him right now. If you keep this train going, it doesn't look good for trades later.
All right. Anybody else on this list right now?
Yeah, I actually got well, Alex Smith. I want to hear how you guys feel about that one.
I love that.
Especially because he joined the Redskins. It's over for him.
No, he's not.
If you join the
He's not
Redskins,
winning the Super Bowl.
yeah, if you join the Redskins, your career is
Did he
over.
get a contract with the Redskins?
Yeah, I think it's
He's-
4 years, 70-some million.
4 years?
He
I
was
think so.
huge contract.
Okay, so let's say, no, that's not even worth it. I don't even, no need to hypothetical.
He's
I was
in
gonna
our
say-
division.
In-
Okay. 4 years, 94 million.
Yeah, big.
So I was gonna say, if it was a
Big
shorter,
ones.
if it was a shorter contract, like 2 years, Giants would scoop him up.
Oh. Well,
Wow.
he is old.
Wow.
He's not that old.
that old.
He's not
Yeah, but
Eli
then-
old.
Isn't he 31?
Let me see. You got what is he?
He's fresher than
30,
Eli.
30,
34.
34.
is he?
I gave me.
Okay. He just got a young face.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's got a young
As he
face.
retreats into his bush.
Yeah.
Well then, no, definitely not winning the Super Bowl.
Definitely
No,
not.
I
No
don't think
shot.
so.
No shot.
Not as a 38-year-old man.
Yeah, because so we're just
His
ruling out
speed
Super
helps
Bowl
him.
with the Redskins. So
Speed does
4
help.
years later, 38 years old, definitely not winning a Super Bowl. I mean, he's a great quarterback, underrated, so protected on the ball. I mean, I think the only other quarterback close or above him in like touchdown interception ratios, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Part of the system.
I don't like that argument.
You don't think Tom Brady is only
Absolutely.
good because he's on the Patriots?
Absolutely not.
That's ridiculous. I think he's only good because he's on the Patriots.
I think he throws great balls.
I think they run great plays. That's, I mean, that's just me.
No, they have top-notch play calling. That's why they're in the Super Bowl so often. But I still think Tom Brady is just top-notch.
Question. Right. Do you think? Let's see. Do you think Josh Allen succeeds as a Patriot?
Well,
Quarterback like that.
to answer that
Very inaccurate.
against myself, Garoppolo.
That's very true.
I went 4-0, and then Jacoby Brissett hops in. They go 5-0.
Yeah, I think a lot of quarterbacks could succeed in New England.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
They
That's
have.
very true. Yeah.
I think most quarterbacks
I
can.
think in that
I
argument.
think Aaron Rodgers is on New England. They don't ever lose the
They don't
Super
ever
Bowl for
lose.
the rest of his career.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers' style is so like.
Yeah. It's not
Just-
a Bill Belichick style, but Aaron Rodgers is Tom Brady.
He's the
with
best.
total run.
He's the best weapon
Yeah.
in football.
Yeah, he is.
You know what Aaron Rodgers I think succeeds most under is like losing and having all the pressure and it's
Yep.
all on him. He has no tools, no weapons. It's just all him.
Yep.
And just somebody has to be there against the wall.
Yeah. He puts the ball
He can
where
get
you
it
need
anywhere.
it. You literally just have to catch
He
the
had
ball.
one leg and put it on the pylon.
Yeah.
From
Insane.
like,
Yeah.
what, 60 yards? How far was that pass?
60.
It was
I think it was
insane.
60.
It's a 60-yard pass on the dot with one leg.
It's insane.
That's very true.
I couldn't believe it.
Tom Brady can't.
Not
Can't.
that.
No.
I'm
He
excited.
can't play with one leg.
No, he's a stand in pocket.
He barely is able to move with 2 legs. He's so unathletic.
The problem is with Brady, you can't have an argument in a negative manner about Brady because people just, well, how many rings? How many rings?
I don't like that argument.
We're the Patriots fans here now.
Yeah, right.
give us your calls.
Yeah, call in, feel
Let's give
free.
Let's give me that phone number, 610-921-7557.
Let us know how you feel
Let
about
us know how you
Tom
feel about
Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah. Let us know.
We do hang up on Patriots.
Alright, so what we got? Anybody else want this?
Yeah, I'm excited about this next one.
Alright.
Unless if I'm remembering wrong. Case Keenum. Just because his only shot was last year.
Yeah, no.
He's the Minneapolis Miracle, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So that was his shot of like, this is your chance to get this momentum going and win the Super Bowl somehow. 38-7 Eagles. I rest my case.
He's not winning the Super Bowl.
No.
Look, I mean,
That was the
I think what
funnest
he
game
is
to watch.
right now, and Denver is the worst passer rating in the NFL.
It's so bad.
I mean,
That pass alone to Demaryius Thomas got on the
oh my
list.
god, he almost beat us. Almost beat us. Thank you, Case Keenum. You'll never win a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Alright, just to get through this next one, Kirk Cousins. Don't
Oh man.
like him. He was a Redskin, got added to
Thomas take.
I met this Vikings super fan. He'd be really mad with you.
You're running out of quarterbacks. Wow, that is insane. I think Kirk Cousins has a real shot.
I don't like him.
I actually think, I don't think Redskins Kirk Cousins has a shot.
No,
But
not
this
at
year,
all.
Kirk Cousins, they lost to the Rams, but
To be fair, I did put him on the list while he was a
he was a
Redskin,
Redskin.
but I still feel the way.
Wow.
I still feel the same way. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
you
like
got a
that.
call.
You like that? I don't like that.
Oh, we got a call, hold up.
Ooh.
Just make sure you pull it.
Yeah, just be nice to him.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, it's a crank call.
Yeah, jeez.
Okay.
How rude, people.
Ah,
How
They hung
rude.
up on us. As a Patriots fan, he
yeah,
hung up on us.
there you go. He turned the tables on us.
The tables upturned.
He or she turned the tables on us. Smart. No, back to that though. I think the only argument I have against it is the defense of the Vikings right now.
Yep.
I think if
Terrible.
Vikings defense last year with Kirk Cousins, they beat the Eagles. I think they
With Kirk Cousins?
I think they beat the Eagles.
It's rough.
I think Kirk Cousins has won games as a Redskin against the Eagles. Right?
I was so scared of the Vikings defense against Nick Foles,
Mm-hmm.
and we just tore him up.
Insane.
Yeah. It was
Oh, we
great.
got a call again. Hold up.
Another one.
Hello?
What's happening?
About to find out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
How you doing?
Seems
Good,
to
how are
be
you?
an enthusiastic caller. He's just
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Just a reminder, we can't put these phone
Yep.
calls on live, but your answers.
we don't
will be-
trust Patriots.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a
Yeah.
question or a topic you want us to talk about? Anything? Are you a Patriots fan? I said, do you have a topic or a question or anything?
We're struggling with this one.
All right.
Oh, he said
I will-
something
I will
funny.
definitely
Check
relay that
second page.
message.
He said something
Thank you
funny.
very much for your call.
Alright.
It was definitely not a Patriots fan.
Ooh.
This is a 302 number.
Ah.
They remember that area code?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
too.
Delaware.
Is that Delaware?
Yeah.
Maybe,
Oh.
maybe we know who that was. The message was, "Go Eagles."
Go Eagles, there you
Oh,
go.
nice.
Yeah.
Go
Hey.
Eagles.
I wonder who that could be.
I'm happy for you,
Might
Eagles
be my
fans.
pops.
Yeah. I'm glad it wasn't a Patriots fan, or else I would have had to.
Go
hang
Eagles,
up.
that's what I
We
like
would
to
have
hear.
shut down the radio station if it was a Patriots fan.
We would have hung up on him. That still stands.
exist. Alright, so, you're talking about, Vikings.
Yeah.
Vikings right now, yeah, no. I don't,
Not gonna happen.
I can see you can debate either way. It's not for sure.
Are we talking about Vikings beating the Eagles?
No, we're talking about Vikings winning the Super Bowl, because we're still on the quarterback list.
I think they beat the Eagles.
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
I was
Yeah.
watching
right now.
what Tampa
Oh, yeah.
Bay
Right now?
did to them.
Well,
Sorry,
Tampa
Eagles
Bay
fan.
did to the Eagles without Wentz, without Alshon Jeffrey, without Ajayi, didn't play that game?
The Giant played.
Clement?
No, Clement. It was Clement. Yeah, it was Clement.
Clement was hurt.
Clement played. He
Clement
tore it
played, Jay Ajayi did.
up. G.A. Giant got hurt in the first.
It's been rough. And
Well,
I said this from the start. I said, we got our Super Bowl, I'm not expecting anything out of the season but another average Eagles season,
Yeah.
I got-
It feels like that.
Disappointment.
I got
Disappointment for another 100 years.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a team like that that wins a Super Bowl, they made the window very short, and they succeeded. It's kind of like what the Rams are doing right now. The Rams just
Right.
have to succeed. I mean, the Eagles had so many pieces in place. The pieces aren't there anymore.
And yeah, so many key pieces though.
So many pieces. Aren't
My
there.
favorite, or my, I guess you would say my least favorite is LeGarrette Blount.
Oh man,
Absolute heartbreak.
did not think they were gonna let him walk.
If we had him, we might have won every game this year. I
Yeah.
think we'd be 4-0.
I mean, that they had
Besides Tampa Bay, they were hot.
probably
Nothing
the
you can
most,
do about that.
besides the Saints, the most productive running back tandem in the NFL.
Oh, you can't even top the Saints.
No, you can't.
It's insane.
That's it. But I mean, they lost about Patrick Robinson, and they lost Vinny Curry.
They're not undefeated.
Yeah. And now what? Who was the safety? He just got hurt. Brazil, not Brazil Douglas.
Oh, McLeod, right?
McLeod.
Rodney McLeod.
McLeod's hurt.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I
Father
like
Jenkins.
McLeod.
They're just not playing the same.
Michael Jenkins is my favorite.
Yeah. The fire is not there. That was there last year.
Yeah, the Saints lost to the
I
Bucks.
think we're just trying to get back into our groove with having Wentz come back
Yep.
and everything.
Yep.
We'll find a groove.
Yeah.
I just think, how long is that going to take? Because if it takes too long, we're going to end up 9-7. Whereas if we catch fire right this week,
Yeah.
you know, we could go 11-5. You know,
That's true.
10-6,
Yeah, you never know.
12-4.
I mean,
They're versing the Vikings next week, next Sunday. It's kind of funny because we were talking about
Next Sunday, Eagles Vikings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next
It's,
Sunday, Eagles. Why can't we?
We'll get
We'll
to
get to
that.
that
We'll get to that.
yeah.
No,
Oh,
we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot
I got
we're supposed to have a
the
list.
yeah, I got the list of. Oh no, we're not on the list of
Oh,
quarterbacks.
oh.
No, I ended with Kirk Cousins.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's all I can think of right now. You know, I might come back next
No,
week.
yeah, we'll come back.
Might come back
Throughout the
next week.
season. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the week 5 matchups. Whatever, we're gonna do that.
We can definitely start there.
We'll start that.
We can start that.
So the way I'll do it is I got all the matchups written down. I'll just say the matchup, and then we'll all go through
Gotcha.
how we feel like that's gonna go. So to start the week, Thursday. So tomorrow night's game is Colts versus Patriots. I don't know how competitive of a game that's gonna be in terms of Colts destroying the Patriots. I'm just kidding.
No, I think they just walk out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry. I think the Indianapolis defense is too soft. I think
Right now,
they need
yeah.
secondary.
That Colts Texans game was so ugly.
I think the Colts have been
Hard to watch. But
Yeah,
one
Drew
of the
Lock.
Patriots been
That's true.
they've been horrible.
But they just came off a rout
Yeah.
of the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Was it 38-0?
38-0. Yeah.
Yes, but it's the Dolphins. I mean, how long do
They
we
were
think that was
3-0.
going to go? How long did
And I rest my case on why Tannehill's on that list.
How long do we think the Dolphins could keep that up?
That's very true.
Right.
I mean,
But I mean, the Colts, Andrew Luck is back.
that's very true.
I thought.
They are relying heavily on luck. What is he at, like 40
I think
attempts
it's
a
a
game?
game play caller.
It's a little insane.
How do you not punt that ball last week? In overtime, Texans, 4th and 7.
Oh no, I wanted them to go for it.
I wanted them to go for it, but if you really break it down, you give it to him almost exactly in field goal range. It's like,
That was the issue.
just punt the
Do
ball.
you do
The
it
problem
tie?
is take the tie. Yeah,
No,
that's what I don't
I'm
like.
not taking ties. I'm a coach. I'm never playing for the tie.
That is true. Because in the moment when I was watching that game,
taking the loss.
I was
not
wondering why they.
It's basically a loss. Yeah.
Can you make the argument that he doesn't choose his defense?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know? I
Yeah.
mean, does a court...
Well, then again, that decision would kind of be trusting your defense, right? Because you would think the Colts can back them up.
That's very true.
Like, oh, our defense can back them up.
But they were basically in field goal range though, whether or not, you know what I mean? Like even if
I think it didn't even matter about the defense at that point. It's just like,
It's just we want the win.
Yeah,
This
we're gonna-
play is it, and that was the wrong
Yeah.
play.
yeah,
it was the wrong play, yeah. But
I
overall, you go for it.
I like the
guess.
aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Because
not a fan
ties-
of ties.
No,
They're
ties are
killing me.
horrible. Especially as an Eagles fan when we had that year with the tie. Was that last year?
No.
No.
It was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Against the Bucks, I think. Yeah, Donovan McNabb. I just remembered it. Donovan McNabb, I'll never forget it in the post-game interview. I didn't know that when overtime ended, it ended in time. I thought we went back in double OT.
This doesn't make sense. Why would you end the game in time?
You know how the game ended? Quarterback kneel to run the clock out. That was my Introduction into Eagles Nation.
That's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And there's only 2 ties this season, 2 or 3. 2 ties, 4 teams with a tie. Vikings, Packers tie. There could have been a
I
couple
can't
more.
stand ties.
It's a little insane. There's been a lot of games in OT this year as well.
A ton.
I just don't get why they don't take the shootout opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
I love this idea.
We would definitely discuss that.
Yeah.
Discuss that right after we let these folks know what public service announcement. All right, we are back. All right, now, where we leave off?
Overtime.
Oh, yes.
How to deal with overtime.
Our man John has a unique idea of how to eliminate ties from the NFL.
It's literally just, in my opinion, it's copy paste of the NHL, how hockey does it right now. And it's, you do, correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, you do 1 overtime, and then after that overtime, if it's still a tie, you go to shootout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way I see it is the NFL does that. So the way you do shootout, just give each team the ball on the 20-yard line. Inside the red zone, whoever scores, you have to stop the next drive. And so on and so on. And you get so many tries, so many cancels. It's the same way shootouts in soccer, in NHL.
It's similar to like the way college football does.
College football does that?
College football, I'm not exactly sure how they do
Not
their
a big fan
overtime,
of.
but
I
it's
thought it was just continuous.
intense. It's
Because
like
there's been games that went
they put you up
seven
on
OTs,
they
right?
put you up on like the 25-yard line.
25.
You just start there.
I don't think the 25 is close enough, personally.
Here, I'll look up the
No
college
field
football
goals.
while
I would
you.
say no field goals. Just make, and no PATs. Just make it 6 points. Keep scoring 6 until somebody stops. That's the way I would see it. That's the way I would do it. If you're putting it in the big office, that's the first change I'm making.
Have these players play until they really drop to the ground. Can you imagine?
Yeah, the game doesn't have enough injuries.
Yeah.
That's the way I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Definitely,
There'd be a lot of debate on this,
yeah.
but
I mean, I think it just wouldn't be just for the safety.
I just feel like in terms, okay, so then maybe make it, can't sack the quarterback, make it 7-on-7. Or maybe just like a one-on-one lineman thing, and you gotta touch the quarterback and sack him or something. You, I mean, you can make rules to stop injuries.
Yeah.
You
wanna hear the
can't
college
stop
football?
injuries.
People would hate
Look at the
that.
rules for college football. You might want to hear. They're pretty interesting. If a game is tied after 4 quarters, the teams will play extra periods until someone wins.
Yeah.
Each
That's
period consists of 1 possession for each team, the order of which is decided by a coin toss. The possession starts at the 25-yard line, and if the teams remain tied at the end of the period, they play another period. And after each period, the possession flips. So if you have the ball first, then you have the ball second.
So yeah,
And in the third period, you can't kick extra points anymore. You have to go for 2 every time.
okay.
So then you just keep doing that until someone
Mhm.
wins.
I'm actually perfectly fine with that. Start as long as you're starting on the 25.
Yeah.
I think the kickoffs are unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think kickoffs alone in the NFL are unnecessary. So to add them into overtime, I mean it's overtime, so it's still exciting, but it's like it's so much easier to end with a tie the way that they're doing it right now.
Yeah.
So you gotta make a change, I think.
Yeah.
Unless if you like ties and everybody mad that their team isn't making it into the playoffs as a one.
Yep.
A one.
Yeah, I think I really like that shootout idea. It's also very exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. That's what I was going for. It's just you brought up the injury debate, and I think that's a very good point. I think we see enough injuries.
Yeah.
Get them off the field.
I
Keep
mean,
them safe.
I mean, what if you could put bench players for the shootout?
Yeah,
I mean,
that is true.
At some key positions. You know what I mean?
that is true. If it's not a divisional game
Yeah.
and you trust your backups, you want to get them warmed up just in case if your quarterback goes down or if your wide receiver goes down or something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Alright, so what we got? Oh,
Are we still doing the?
we are doing weekly matchups.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was gonna
let's
say.
do it.
Alright, so to get through this, started off at the top of the list, we got Vikings and Eagles, and then I'm gonna say my pick, because you already know, 38-7 once again.
There you go.
I have the Vikings. I definitely the Vikings.
Wow.
After watching what Tampa Bay
Yeah.
did to them defensively, like they got at the quarterback. And
Our offensive line has been rough.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Vikings team will definitely put her hurt. And I know, is Wentz back now?
Yeah.
So like Wentz,
back
I
last
understand he can take the pressure and he can get out the pocket and all that and he can stretch plays,
It
but
scares me.
I don't know.
It scares me injury
He,
wise.
he can't do it the way he was last year.
Well, he
He's
did.
not doing
No,
it.
he did.
He
He
did it
did
a
last
couple
year.
times.
No, all game. He looked amazing last game in terms of getting out of the pocket and escaping. Like he had ridiculous plays where like he ducked under a guy,
Gotcha.
got out of there. It's just number one, we're missing Torrey Smith, and then we got Mike Wallace. We're missing him, and then we picked up Jordan Matthews. I don't even want to get into that. I'm so mad about that.
Get another key drop.
And he's gonna have many key drops.
Yeah.
He's gonna have many drops. It's rough.
That's just his MO.
It's so rough.
Drop the ball. Wait, you need this touchdown? Are we gonna make playoffs with this touchdown? Nah. Sorry.
Can't believe it.
Wasn't that
Jerry
against-
Rice's nephew.
Wasn't that against the Giants like 2 years ago? I think it was against the Giants.
It might have been.
I think so.
Corner of the end zone. Carson
It was
Wentz's rookie year.
because what I hated most was it was Jordan Matthews, and then they were like, all right, we'll stop targeting Matthews. We started targeting Aguilar, and now he's a number one target. He's dropping passes.
Yep.
We moved him to the slot because we got Torrey Smith and Alshon, and he became an all-star.
Yep.
It was great.
In a great year. Great.
That's where he belongs, but he's back at the number 2 slot now,
Yep.
and I think it's showing.
Yeah. He prefers the slot. He doesn't like being number one or number two.
I just think he performs better in the slot.
Yeah.
He might personally want to be a number 1 receiver, but the way it goes,
I also think the Eagles line is not playing the way they should be playing.
absolutely.
The offensive line is not protecting Carson Wentz.
I've been saying it for years. It's my hot take on the Eagles. I don't like Jason Peters. I don't like Jason Peters.
Pro Bowl, all pro talent. I mean,
The plays he's given up, I mean, he's been great, but he has great plays. But the plays he's given up over highlights and stuff, I've seen it, and it's just lazy play, injuries.
I think coming off of this injury this season.
Injuries have been roughed in.
Yeah, I think this is a close game. I think the Eagles come to fire. I think the Eagles take this one.
I would love if the Eagles.
I think the Eagles take this one because they just lost.
They
to the
really
Titans.
need to take this one.
Yeah, they need to.
They just lost a heartbreaker. I think they come in. I think even though they both are coming off of losses, the way the Eagles lost is worse, and it gives them more fire. You know, there's like a lot of teams like
Like a
this.
chip on the shoulder.
Yeah, they come and play with a chip on their shoulder.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people would take the Vikings in this one, and Eagles underdogs. They get down. So,
Underdogs.
yeah, I mean, as long as they can protect, because the Vikings don't have Everson Griffin because he's dealing with mental issues, so the line's not the same. You saw it against the Rams. Defense was getting lit up.
Yep.
Quarterback who, according to John, would win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, never. Not gonna happen.
So
Well,
it's-
yeah, Xavier Rhodes also bad. It's not been looking good. Their secondary's been rough. But moving on, we got Titans and Bills. I don't know how interesting this is.
We need to talk about this
Titans.
one.
Nope,
Titans.
Titans.
Yep.
Yep. We all agree?
Yep.
Titans. They're looking
Consensus.
good this year.
Yeah.
They're looking
They're
good.
looking good.
The Bills are looking so bad.
The
Power
They might be the
rankings.
worst team.
Power rankings has them at number 32,
They might be the worst team.
right behind the Cardinals.
The Jets have been.
Yes, they are. 100%.
I'm ready for the Jets to be good, and I don't know why. Maybe it's
What?
the green.
Ugh.
Maybe it's the green. I think it's the green.
I think the
bleed
Jets
green.
being good gives me chills.
I
Like, it
bleed
makes
green.
me like, I don't think they're good. I don't think they're good at all.
No, they're not good.
But like
they're
the
good.
idea that people are saying that they're going to be good again, it's just like
It
ugh.
bothers
To
you.
me, I want to see it. Like
Yeah.
whenever there's, the Browns, they're the worst team in the league. I want to see them somehow be good again. I kind of root for the, underdog. I
Yeah.
guess.
Some teams are just meant to be in the trash pile. I think.
The Yorker.
The joke of the.
I don't think the Jets ever need to rise again. I think they can just stay in their little, just sharing
Wow.
stadium with them is
They can
worse.
stay in their jet.
Yeah,
Alright, so
I got it. I see. Hey, they have a ring, so.
I don't think they even have a jet. They probably have like a bush plane.
Alright, moving on after that. Next matchup we got Falcons and Steelers.
Falcons.
Falcons.
I'm taking a bold one. I'm saying Steelers.
I would take the Steelers.
I'm saying Steelers only because the Falcons are so unimpressive to me.
Yeah, that's very true.
In terms of what they have, we already went over it, but what they have compared to how they perform is just mind-boggling to me. I will never pick them as the winning team almost ever.
I will give this to the Falcons because of Calvin Ridley. He's
think,
lighting up the league.
I think the Falcons trade Calvin Ridley to the Steelers for Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell walks out onto the field for the Falcons and the Falcons uni, and they run over the Steelers.
That'd be great.
That's.
Hot take of the year.
The only problem is, but Bell's still not signed though, right?
No, he still has to sign for
So you can't trade him.
Week 7, he's coming back apparently.
So he has to sign before they can trade him?
Yes.
So why
Well,
don't
they offered
trade
him. Well, they offered him a franchise tag, so it's like he has to sign. So they can't even trade before he signs. If I'm right,
I'm not a Bell fan, not a Le'Veon Bell fan.
you can't force a man to sign.
I'm definitely a Le'Veon Bell fan.
I'm a huge
I
Le'Veon
mean,
Bell fan.
he is the best running back in football when he's on the field.
I think talent-wise, he's the
Oh
best.
my God.
He's one of the best running backs we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Talent-wise
Yeah.
and ability, but performance again, not
Right.
living up to expectation.
I think it's great, I just don't think the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl anytime soon.
I mean, if you don't beat the
I'd be okay with that.
Man,
We see them too often.
if you don't beat the Jaguars last year with Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, they haven't had a ring with them yet. I don't.
It's Big Ben holding them back. I'm telling you. I love that guy, but it is his time
It's
to
time
end
to
it.
I think so. I don't know. I think that argument was valid last year. I think he's honestly been playing pretty well. I mean, he had a bad game against the Browns, but he's been putting up numbers. He has been.
No, he's been putting up numbers.
He's
It's
been
just
putting up numbers.
when it comes to crunch time and decision making, he falls flat.
Patriots last year.
He falls flat.
Pick. Yeah.
All right,
Next
next
game,
game.
what we got
Next
here?
game. Next game, we gotta move down this list. We got Broncos and Jets. Broncos.
Broncos.
The
Broncos.
garbage bowl.
Von Miller is going
I
to
know.
wreak havoc on
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Already forgot his name.
It's a throwaway game.
He'd be on my list, but
Listen,
he's
I don't
on
even want to make a pick.
If the Broncos don't win that game, they will have a losing season. There is no way.
I think they still do.
I think it will.
I haven't seen their schedule, but I think they still do.
That's true. I mean, they started what?
Yikes.
2-1.
The only thing they have looking good for them is their running backs, both of them.
That's true. I think like the league is
And Von
trending
Miller.
towards this new duo running back tandem.
I think it's
thing.
been there for a few
I think
years.
like
You know who I think was one of the first to do it?
Darren Sproles.
No.
Saints.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe
Terrence
Saints.
Rose
I was
on
thinking
Saints.
Patriots with, who was it, Garrett Blunt and
James White.
James White.
Yeah.
But
I don't
before
know.
that was
Darren Sproles.
But yeah, that
before
was way before.
No, I know, I wasn't thinking of that.
I think Darren Sproles is like
But I just
the
didn't think,
original.
I don't
It's
think
got
that,
Reggie Bush and Mark Ingram, and then Darren Sproles. You drop it on third down, and he just runs up the side.
they were exciting
nuts.
for 1 year.
Yeah.
They were exciting for 1 year.
It's still nuts.
Reggie Bush, man.
I
We'll
think,
go off on a
but I think
tangent
it's definitely becoming the sort of like the flex forward in basketball. You know what I mean?
You could have like
Yeah.
you could have like 4 of those guys. Like you just have as many of those guys as you
Well,
want.
we
Just all over
did.
the place.
The Eagles did. They had Smallwood, who wasn't used.
Yeah.
They had Clement, LeGarrette Blunt, Jay Ajayi. They had a few. Four.
They had a great.
There's another one in there. I think I'm forgetting. Sproles was injured.
Corey Clement, right?
Yeah.
It was Clement, Smallwood, Jay Johnny, Garrett Blunt. That's what you need.
Moving on, I got a big game for Mr. Marcus over
Here
here.
we go.
Jags and Chiefs.
I want to talk about this one.
This is gonna be a showdown.
It is going to
I
be
can't wait.
a
I think
fantastic game.
Blake Bortles shows why he's on my list, and Mahomes shows why he's not on my list.
I agree.
I think it'll be Mahomes' show, and I got Chiefs winning this by a ridiculous. I think Fournette being out.
It's going to hurt.
That's all I gotta say.
I got the Chiefs winning for sure, but I still think that Jags defense is a menace.
But
Yes, it
they
is.
haven't been. Have they been doing good this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are allowing the least points per game.
Okay. I
I
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
keep it up.
however, they did lose to the Titans.
Without
and
Fournette, I'm not.
the
I'm not a
only-
Jags fan.
The defense didn't lose though.
Yeah, you're right. That is the only reason I'll give this to the Chiefs. And I love my team, and they're actually the number 1 or number 2 offense right now because of last game they scored 27. So maybe the Rams jumped ahead, but we were averaging 39 points a game. I think we win this game because Blake Bortles can't close it out. The defense is going to cause problems.
I would say absolutely.
Broncos defense is not as good as the Jaguars, and they get problems.
You know what I would say about this team? And it could go either way, but I think it will go only either way. Either I feel in my gut it's a low scoring game, but it could also turn into a shootout. So I don't know which one to say there, but my gut is telling me it's like gonna be a low scoring game, like a 9-12,
Mm.
and then maybe the fourth quarter turns up, cranks the heat. You got like a 21-17 score or something. I don't know if mathematically that even.
I'm
works,
saying
but
16-21 final
Yeah,
score.
I think it's
Yeah.
upset.
that's just one point difference.
I think
21-17.
24. 24. I just don't know.
I could see this literally being like a
Yeah. Because the Chiefs' defense is the worst in the league.
Yeah.
They'll make anyone look good. So this could be higher scoring than we think.
yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I feel like it's either low scoring or high scoring, and I gave a score of right in the middle.
Yeah.
That's because I feel like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fourth quarter. If it is low scoring, I feel like there will be a fourth quarter to watch.
That's very true. This is going to be a great game, though. I'm a little nervous.
I'm excited for
This
this.
is a real test. The Broncos game was a test.
Vikings
He's in
game.
a hostile environment, primetime game, on the road.
I feel like
He took care of business.
it's the week of tests
It is.
because the Eagles and Vikings, you know, Chiefs and Jags, Steelers and Falcons.
I think part of the reason we take this game is a home game.
Is it?
It's a home game.
Okay. I actually didn't write any of that down,
Yeah.
whether home or away,
Yeah.
for either team. So
Okay.
next up we got Packers and Lions.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm not watching this game. I'm not a fan. I mean, if it's on Red Zone or something, or whatever we end up watching it.
If
Not
the
a fan.
Lions wear those
Gray ones.
awful gray uniforms,
You don't like those.
you like those?
Golden Tate's
I
going
love
off.
those.
He's wearing them.
Ugh.
Golden Tate is going off. He's wearing them.
I like Golden Tate, he gets me lots of points, but like, I hate those
I
uniforms.
really enjoy those.
They make my eyes hurt.
Who do you take? You know you're not watching.
Packers. Comes down there. Aaron Rodgers still healthy, right? Or is he
No,
facing trouble?
he was. I think he's.
I know that all of the receivers are questionable.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, Geronimo Allison, and Randall Cobb are all questionable.
Yeah, that's a big problem. Their whole starting skill positions
I
are questionable.
I hate the Packers right now.
As long as the Lions aren't wearing those gray uniforms, I got the Lions. As long as they're not wearing those grays, it's so bad.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Do we know who's home? Because if the Lions are home, they're wearing the grays.
It is the Lions are home.
Yep. They're wearing the grays. Next
Then-
up,
then
we're moving next up. Alright, so we got Packers. What would you go with, Marcus?
I'm gonna take Lions.
Yeah, I would not be surprised about the Lions.
I'm gonna take the upset.
Would not
I
be
believe it's
surprised.
the upset.
Next up, Ravens and Browns. Ravens.
Ravens are playing phenomenal football.
Joe Flacco's looking good. He's looking okay.
I don't get it. I don't get why he's looking good. I don't get it because last year he averaged under 200 yards a game, but he's looking still.
Also, I think he's got the pressure of he is the starter now. He's got that taken off of his shoulders, so it's interesting. So we got what? Ravens all the way around.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Their
Ravens.
defense is a monster. Very underrated defense. Well, just I don't think people speak about it a lot. You know, we talk about Vikings, Rams, and
Slept on for sure.
Jags. You know what I mean? The Ravens have always had a good defense. So I think they take that. They handle
Alright,
big
should we
league.
just fire through the rest? Or
Let's
say
do
what
a-
we think?
Let's do one more and we'll take a break.
Alright. So we got Giants and Panthers. I got a surprise pick for this one. I got Panthers. I wanted to pick Giants. I got Panthers.
Whoa.
I
Right?
think Cam Newton's gonna go off.
I got the Giants because I'm a Giants fan.
Cam Newton's getting 40
Probably
fantasy
doesn't,
points.
probably doesn't make any sense to pick the Giants here, but it's definitely the Giants.
There's too many weapons. They're terrifying.
I mean, the Giants shut down the Saints
Yeah.
pretty good until the fourth quarter at the end of the game.
What was the final score of that game?
Do we know the final score?
That's the final score
Giants
was
Saints.
33-17.
Something like that.
33-17.
Shut
It was a
down?
one-score
I'm
game.
pretty confident.
It was a one-score game, and they shut down Michael Thomas, who was one of the leading
Shut down.
receivers. Who is one of the
33.
leading receivers in the league.
That was an exciting game.
It was. And then
Also,
Kamara just blew it
Yeah,
up.
I was gonna say about the Saints. They got Mark Ingram coming back. What you got for us, Marcus? You got something? Or are you setting it up? Just keep it going? Alright. You wanna go to the next one? Or you
Sure.
wanna keep talking about your Giants?
Nah, I don't need to talk about the Giants. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. Let's just hope.
I can't wait for the Giants and Eagles. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone's wondering, John's gonna be in that game. He's so excited to watch the
Yeah,
Eagles lose.
You can catch me at the Eagles game for Thanksgiving with my dad. Shout out to my dad. Alright, next up we got what did I write down here? Oh, Dolphins Bengals.
Ooh. Who cares?
No, who cares? I feel the same way.
Bengals.
We got weapons. Bengals for
3-1
sure.
right now.
Bengals for sure. Don't.
Tannehill.
Well, both teams are 3-1.
Tannehill, Kenny Stills.
No,
Not connected in a big way.
not a chance.
Okay, so I both see. Oh, that's another quarterback on my list. Dalton. Completely forgot about him. Hate Dalton with a passion.
Well, I'll talk about that right after this break. For those of you tuning in, this is WXAC 91.3. It is 10:59 p.m., 63 degrees outside, clear skies. We're gonna play some music for you and then get back to Fan Talk with our weekly picks.
To my memory, we ended with the Dolphins and Bengals. So that would move us down to the Raiders and Chargers. That's what we're doing, right? We're just gonna continue
Yeah.
the matchups. Let's do it. Alright, Raiders and Chargers. This is another easy one. I can't stand the head coach at the Raiders. He's
John Gruden.
John Gruden. Can't stand him. I loved him as an older coach. Can't stand him now. I'm going with Chargers.
Great.
I'm gonna go with Chargers. I'm a big Philip Rivers believer.
Oh, I'm not. He's my Super Bowl. He's on my Super Bowl list.
Whoa, Philip Rivers?
I'm not a
He's so
believer.
good.
Yeah, he is, but I'm
His
not a
receivers drop the ball so much. It's probably the most frustrating thing
Yeah.
ever.
Week 1, Chiefs game.
So bad. Yeah, you watched it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
I
so
was-
many touchdowns.
I was like thanking Philip Rivers, praying to him that night because he blessed me. Or his receivers blessed me with so many drops. There were wide open, clear 60-yard touchdown bombs that they used. I think Chargers take this one though. I see why Philip Rivers is on this list. He's been a top tier quarterback, underrated. He always throws for like over 4,000.
I don't even think top tier.
Wow.
I think average quarterback. I think the weapons he's had, Keenan Allen is like a top 3 receiver, top 5 receiver. Underutilized. He's got Melvin Gordon. He's still
not
got.
underutilized.
He's
though,
still.
is he?
Who? Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen's
No, he
always
has
producing on
he has
that team.
1,000-yard gains every time. But it's like you have all these tools. Why aren't you winning? We don't see them make playoff runs either. It's not like they're always right there. It's like
You know what it is too? Philip Rivers has a problem turning the ball over.
yeah.
Yeah.
And crunch
But this is
time.
always
He
has
just
to, he always has to take chances.
Yeah.
Their defense is not that great.
I beg to differ.
I feel like their defense isn't that
No,
great.
I think they have a lot of talent on their defense. I don't think the defense performs as they should. I mean, Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa on the line is absolutely scary.
Yeah.
Those are the best two ends on the same
But I mean,
ball.
for his career, it's like it's always he's got Gates. Like Philip Rivers finds his receivers, and like, it's just. I don't think Philip Rivers has a problem with running a scoring drive.
No, not at all.
I think that like it's always situationally. He's always just like having to take chances because I think other teams that they play are always. Maybe that's just my opinion. And maybe I'm just wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see this weekend.
Yeah, we definitely will see.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think this week is one of the biggest weeks of tests for every team besides the Patriots because they never seem to get tested.
Yeah, it's true. They kind of just underperform when they lose.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of tests this week. Moving on, we got Cardinals and 49ers. I don't know about this one. I think 49ers
I
will
don't
go through.
care. I don't even care.
Okay. Yeah. No one cares.
Yeah, what was that game earlier? The Jets and the who we were talking about? This game's
Broncos.
Jets,
I think
Broncos.
Jets Broncos is way more exciting.
This
than
is
it
way
seems.
more exciting.
We got the 2 premier running backs. I guess you could say premier.
Jets, Broncos, Bengals, Dolphins, and
See, I like the Jets and Broncos. They got Isaiah Crowell and Bilal Powell, who have been going off here and there. But then you got Von Miller to stop him. You know?
Greg's gonna sleep.
hey, the Jets. I'm not watching that game.
Can we talk about the Raiders for a second though? Can we get back to that game? Raiders Browns game? Like,
No, Raiders, Chargers.
No, I'm talking about like the game last week.
Oh, last week.
They just squeaked out.
I see them just squeaking out of every win this season. I see them going 6-10.
That's fair. Yeah, that's like 5-11 football.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I thought I was being.
No, that was the Browns win was their first one of the year,
Yeah.
and also they won because of very questionable refereeing.
Oh my god, very questionable referee. It's like
it wasn't even.
understatement.
Yeah, it wasn't even oh, Derek Carr came in clutch, fourth quarter drive like he was like 2 seasons ago, when everyone was like, oh, Derek Carr MVP, best young quarterback in the league. They just benefited from bad refereeing and key mistakes from Baker Mayfield. 4 turnovers for him. The Browns are really.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, Greg? Baker Mayfield. How you feel?
I think he's a hot talent, but he's definitely needs some tweaking.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so does every young quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think he's special. I really like someone who's reminding me of Baker a little bit, but even more versatile is that kid over in New Orleans.
Oh, what is his name? Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
That guy is awesome.
Is that
He
the
can
guy
play
that's a
anywhere.
Yeah.
Quarterback, receiver, running back. He can do anything.
That's insane.
I'm
He's
not a big
sweet.
fan of college football at all.
But he's good, man. He's good.
I think it was my high school football coach. He told me this. He said, in high school, there's a couple good players. In college, there's a lot of good players, and in football, everyone's great.
In the NFL, yeah.
So college, you're playing against a lot of people who aren't gonna have a football career after this.
I think he's good though, man. Taysom Hill, dude, he almost scored on the Giants
He's
in a
had
way
some,
that
yeah,
like.
he's had some standout plays.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have talent in college. I'm just saying it's underwhelming to me.
It's also a very college way to play football.
Yeah,
Right,
But
exactly.
to have him,
But that like the mobile quarterback has become a new.
that's very true.
you
How
know,
many of them have won Super Bowls?
Carson Wentz just took the Eagles to it.
Foles won that.
But Carson Wentz took them there.
Yeah, he won. Who knows what he would have done in the
Aaron
first?
Rod- Aaron
And
Rodgers.
Carson Wentz is a pocket passer first. He has
But
to
his
escape.
mobility.
He's a mobile quarterback, but I can't stand these quarterbacks that they're
Russell
run
Wilson.
first.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson still is a pocket passer.
Right, but I'm not saying that he's a strictly mobile guy, but he
I mean the
performs
way I'm talking
so
about the way
well.
college quarterbacks are mobile because
Yeah.
it's run first.
Right, but what I'm saying is this kid is so versatile that he can perform anywhere. And when you see guys like Russell Wilson who can get out of the pocket and play just as well, like
I
just
think that
throwing on the
I think we
run.
should clarify.
here's how I want to say it.
Yeah, we should clarify. What
A
you mean.
great arm, to me, is way better than great legs on a quarterback. I want to see pinpoint accuracy, and I want to see bullets to the end zone, and I want to see spectacular throws. And if you're mobile, that's an additive, like that's
Right,
added on.
right.
But mobility in a quarterback isn't important to me. I need to see the arm first. So if you're throwing amazing in college, which not a lot of them are, then I'm interested. But to watch Lamar Jackson run, what did he run 500 yards in a game or something ridiculous? Like it was just like, I'm not impressed. I am. I don't want to say it like that, but it's like as an NFL quarterback,
It's
the
not
way
happening.
the way it'll translate. I'm not interested. You know.
Right now for the Giants, I would take a guy with legs over Eli Manning
100%.
because there's no line.
100%.
Because you don't need a lineman, the guy who's got legs.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes is killing it because he's got legs.
That's
No, Pat Mahomes is killing it
He
because
also-
of what I said.
he has a combination of both. Though.
He's also got the best weapons in the league.
But I said number one goes arm. If you have the legs, it's an additive.
I think you
I
could
think
have less of
legs
an
are.
arm.
You're putting legs as a priority.
I think you could have less of an arm and play as well as Mahomes.
I think we could. I think we should use Patrick Mahomes, not because I'm biased, but because he does both so well.
No, I
You know
think
what I
he
mean?
does throwing. I think his arm is top of the line.
Yeah. But his throw on
In
the
terms
run
of the use.
is what wins the game. You know what I mean? Like the left-handed throw, rolling out
I mean,
that's insane.
him like almost getting sacked, having hands in his face, and still launching it is amazing. Like his arm and the passes are right on spot.
He's a special. I think right after the spring, we're talking about someone like Mariota. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a little break.
Yeah, I'm down.
See that cute little dog in the Pennsylvania?
He's a cute little dog.
Puppy mill, a breeding facility that forces
I like that
caged,
page.
neglected, and often sick dogs to
Yeah, it's a
churn
good
out
one.
puppies to be sold for
Yeah,
breeding.
I think Patrick Mahomes is just
I
so
really
good at
have-
both. He's hard to argue.
Well, like,
with
no,
that.
to me, he's so good at passing.
Yeah,
It's like
true.
nothing else matters. If he wasn't a mobile quarterback, it wouldn't matter.
But my thing is, if he didn't have legs though, we'd lost that game. Von Miller would have got to 20 times. That's what I'm saying. He's so good at moving. So like a quarterback, like let's say,
I was just thinking, like,
alright,
We're back.
smooth transitions.
alright, so, where were we? Mobile quarterbacks debate. What is more important? Let's say in this, today's league, arm, or legs? Let's say big arm.
I would just go off of who's won the Super Bowl ever. Oh, you could almost go ever. I mean, I can't memory-wise, but everyone I know has thrown the ball as a quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Perfect example, Peyton Manning versus Cam Newton. What does Cam Newton do? You know? And Cam Newton doesn't have an amazing arm.
So I know what you mean. He's not necessarily saying that.
Cam Newton
I'm
is
saying
cannon.
mobile quarterbacks are great.
He's not saying
Cam Newton has
Cam Newton is
cannon.
not going to get a pinpoint accurate throw.
Right, but he is a cannon.
Not what I'm saying.
I think.
Accurate throws.
Yeah, his point is not necessarily the quarter. He's saying like those college quarterbacks. How you see so many QB runs. These quarterbacks have like 1,000-yard rushing seasons.
Watch him throw in the spiral.
He's not saying quarterbacks with legs cannot win. I mean, come on. Aaron
No,
Rodgers
that's not what I'm saying.
has won a Super Bowl. We know quarterbacks with like Russell Wilson's won a Super Bowl. We know that. I think he's saying there will never be a pure college-style quarterback that can run the ball that often that will win a Super Bowl.
I don't think a run-first quarterback is going to win a Super Bowl. No, that's
He
not what
never
I'm
has.
saying now. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
you
just
guys
mean a mobile QB.
Yeah, you guys are on different pages.
Like Russell Wilson wins because he's
I think we're
mobile.
the same. Yeah, I think we kind of agree.
Yeah,
You
but
need the arm to win the Super Bowl.
I think you need. I don't think you need.
And I'm not saying arm is in how deep your pass can be.
That's what I thought you were saying.
No.
I thought you meant like a gunner.
Okay.
Like
So
a
did I.
dude who can has
So
to
we're
throw
all
deep
different
balls.
pages.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
No, I'm saying pinpoint passes. You can get that ball in there and make the right throw at the right time.
Tom
Well,
Brady.
yeah, that's yeah. I mean,
Tom Brady.
that's
That's
exactly
what I meant by
you
an
need.
arm. Is it better than legs?
Because, but I mean, like, so you would rather have like Eli Manning, who throws dots, and he throws accurate balls, versus Eli does throw accurate balls.
Yeah,
but
give
he
me-
does-
yeah,
he gets
but-
his balls
yeah, but
in.
give me a-
I know,
I'm smiling because I like your argument.
Yeah, but give me
Because
a
Eli-
run. Hold on, but give me a run first quarterback.
versus like a
You can't say Mariota. You can't say
I can't say
Russell Wilson.
Mariota.
No, he does not run first.
Well, the
I'm not talking about run first
yeah,
quarterback.
He's just saying mobility in general.
A mobile
Oh,
guy, a guy
mobile.
who's a mobile guy but doesn't throw as accurate, like Mariota. Would you rather have Mariota or Eli?
Right now, Eli has more Super Bowls, so. I mean, okay, let's say this.
Both have, I mean,
Hold on.
an average line. I don't know what to say about no line because
That's
Eli
not what I'm
has
saying.
no.
That's not what I'm saying. My big thing is, it doesn't matter about the line, technically, where I'm going. Both of them in their prime, Eli all day.
Yeah, of course.
Then what's the argument?
Because Eli could move.
If we're talking
Eli
about
could
right
get
now,
you.
if
Eli
you're talking
could
about
get
right
you an extra couple of yards by if the thing collapses.
Okay, but if we're talking about right now, you have the option of Mariota or Eli. Who, like, why would you go Eli? Eli's old. Eli's
Because he's
not shown talent in the last few years. His decision making is horrible.
I don't think so.
Decision making is horrible.
I don't think it is
Those
horrible.
late game picks are my biggest pet peeve. If it gets late in the game and you're throwing interceptions, you're losing a lot of games and playoff games.
I don't know.
You have to.
I think
keep
Eli
the ball
just
in the
doesn't
game.
trust. Eli doesn't like to trust his team as much because he thinks if he doesn't throw a touchdown, it's not going to work out. Which I don't think it would anyway. He's gonna throw a forced pass to Odell Beckham because that's what Odell Beckham's there for.
I think the biggest thing about the Giants this year that they haven't had in forever is a dominant running back. I think that takes a lot of the pressure off of Eli.
Yeah.
Hopefully, play calling wise, it should. If you're not calling the plays to get Saquon as like the number one target of the Giants, because I think right now it's still Eli. Of like, if you're in defense, you're getting after Eli
Yeah.
because he's gonna throw the picks. But right now, if you shift the defense into worrying so much about Saquon that that's all they're going for is like all of our marbles are on Saquon,
Yeah.
then it frees Eli up. Maybe a play action. I mean, Eli's not mobile, so maybe not play action, but maybe a quick dump, slant play to Odell.
Yeah, I think at this point, I
That
think
should be such a deadly
the
team.
Giants are right now, I think, are trying to win in a way where it's like they should be doing what I feel like maybe the Raiders have been doing, which is try to establish a run game for like weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
And just try and get the run to just keep happening so that teams will be ready to play against the run so you can have that play action element. But like I don't think the Giants are doing that.
Yeah.
I think they're just getting bum rushed because of that offensive line so much. They can't even run the ball. They're just checking down every play. Saquon's getting so many receptions because he just gets out
Yeah.
and Eli just has to dump it.
I think that's what the argument comes back to. I think the argument is sort of one of those that's like a dead end because it all depends on their line. I think if you have a Giants O-line, the reason the Seahawks have won games is because Russell Wilson can get out of the pocket and make a play. They have one of the worst O-lines in the league. That's the problem. So like, with a good O-line, you take the precise passer. With a bad O-line, you take the mobile quarterback.
And for
I
me,
think this
my
is-
feeling with today's league is O-linemen now coming at a premium. I need to get myself a mobile quarterback.
And O linemen are scarce.
Yeah.
They're, I don't even think it's specifically the O line's fault. I think it's just how good the D line has become.
Oh man,
There are so many
Oh, man.
monsters. It feels like every team
that's a good
has
pass
a
rusher.
great pass rusher.
Yeah.
Like you look at Fletcher Cox, you look at Joey Bosa, Von Miller,
Lawrence.
Khalil Mack,
Cowboys.
Lawrence, the Jaguars, the
Rams,
Rams.
Rams.
Like-
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Every team has a great pass rusher.
Yeah.
So it's like how, I feel like even the average pass rushers are still dominant against these O linemen.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a lack of talent for the O line because we see a lot of great O linemen, but it's like I think the talent is so stacked towards the D line that it's just
Yep. When you have a team like the Rams, doesn't matter which one it's looking like. Are we still got weekly picks, right? Are we done that?
Did we finish? We did
I don't think we finished.
no.
Oh,
No, we did not
Let's
finish.
keep it going. We're here now.
I didn't even think of that. Well, we have 3 games.
Oh, okay.
It's 3 games.
Oh.
So we got Rams and Seahawks.
Ooh.
It sounds exciting on paper, but if you really look at who the Seahawks are, I don't see that game.
Really?
Rams.
Rams got it.
It sucks because it's like I want the Seahawks to be a great team again
Yeah.
for this week. You know,
And they just lost
just to
their
see like a
defense.
battle of the dominant teams, and we're not going to see it.
Nope, we're not, because they just lost Earl Thomas, their best defensive player. O-line cannot handle that D-line. That's going to be a mess.
It's rough. Next up, we got Cal versus Tex. Cowboys versus Texans. Cowboys are my least favorite team in the world at any sport ever, so I'm going Texans. And I didn't even think about that one. I just circled Texans as I wrote it. It's Battle of Texas.
What we got, Greg?
I got Texans. I got Deshaun Watson. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He's awesome.
I think,
I love him. I picked him super high
What's
in my
funny?
family draft, and everyone laughed at me for it. And it's kind of, I mean, they kind of are right to laugh at me.
Well, he had a slow
slow
start.
start.
Yeah, but I think this week, that DeMarcus Lawrence is going to get in, and I think
Cowboys secondary is going to let up a lot of
yes,
plays.
and yes. Deshaun Watson's going to have to get out of the pocket and just he's going to gun down. He's just going to.
I see
break it
a,
up.
I hope so. I feel like it's games like this where we just see like all of a sudden Deshaun Watson throws 4 picks and we're like, what happened?
I
My words.
really hope not.
Yeah.
This is a game that
It's
the
funny.
Texans can win easily.
Next
The-
week we'll have a segment about me eating my words because I'm the best at it.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. I'll probably second you on that. I'm the biggest word eater. I'm the one that started the show with a quarterback list that'll never win the Super Bowl. And based on mid-season, I love Deshaun Watson, but he might get added to that.
Whoa.
I feel like it's another quarterback that's kind of mobile first. He's very close to that line.
I don't know. We'll have to see how he performs. Last year he had one lead. best starts I've ever.
But it's just DeAndre Hopkins. He is so good. I love DeAndre Hopkins. Are we moving on to the last
Yeah,
game?
yeah,
Last game of the week, Monday night, prime time. Redskins and Saints.
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 Mark Ingram.
Marking was back.
If Mark Ingram doesn't go off, I have him in all my fantasy leagues. Except one.
Except one, I think.
I think except one. I have 3 fantasy leagues for those listeners out there. Mark Ingram is starting in all the leagues that I own him in. And if he better go off.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Do we? I don't know. Do we trust New Orleans defense at this point in time?
But are we worried about Alex Smith?
I don't know. He doesn't throw picks. He doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Yeah. He doesn't turn the ball over. So.
I think Saints pass rush. Don't they have a good pass rush?
Oh, they have
Yeah.
David Jordan.
Exactly. I feel like the pass rush will get to it. Pass rush will be eating on Monday
I
night.
honestly though, I did react kind of fast, but I think this is a closer game. Everything. I think Adrian Peterson's been defined.
Oh, Peterson. I've been wondering who I'm forgetting.
He's been playing very well. They also have Chris
I'm
Thompson.
so glad for him.
They have it's funny, they have a similar
Yep.
tandem. of
Well,
running
it's a
backs.
copycat league.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody's-
So, AP and Chris Thompson's been great receiving roles.
Receiver-wise,
Yeah.
Pierre Garçon, who is it? Or is he 49ers? He's one of those guys I always forget.
Yeah.
Is he on the Redskins? Is he on the 49ers? Because I think he started on the Niners, went to the Redskins, went back or something. He started on the Seahawks, I think.
They got Jameson
Crowder, don't like him.
and they I
don't like him.
I like Paul Richardson. They got him from the Seahawks.
Paul
He's
Richardson's
quick.
interesting, yes.
He's very
Deep
quick.
threat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, this game, I think they could.
I just see Michael Thomas,
Oh,
I see Drew Brees, I see the 2 running backs, Kamara and Ingram, just
Time of the day.
blowing that defense apart. I think we'll see a disheveled Redskins after that week. How are the Redskins? What are their
They are
record?
coming off of, I believe.
2-1.
2-1. Coming off a bye week.
Bye week. I was wondering, I was like, why did they
I
only
mean, they
play?
beat the Packers.
What, really?
Yeah, they beat the Packers.
AP?
Yeah, that did.
I feel like AP's gonna have a day against the
Yeah.
Saints. I feel like we'll see a 21-34 Saints win. 21-34.
I'll take that. I think that's fair. But
I feel like it'll be close in the beginning. I feel like halftime's gonna be like
Yeah.
14-14. Third quarter opens up a little bit. We got like a 24-20, 24-14 score. And then fourth quarter,
Yeah.
34.
Lunchtime. Alright, so those are all our games for the week, right?
Yeah, that's it.
You guys want to talk about some power rankings? Week 5 power rankings?
Ooh, I wasn't ready for this one.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, talk about it.
So that,
Let's get after it.
where we at?
Alright, you want to? How about let's start with the top 20. I think we can say 21 to 32 doesn't really matter.
Nope, and you can interchange any of them in any place and it would win.
Yeah.
Just because it's so early in the year
Yeah.
and because the bad teams have looked really bad.
Yo, this might. Let's see if this surprises you guys. This is ESPN's Week 5 power rankings.
I think I have seen this.
Number 20. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
They dropped 13 spots.
I feel like they should have been at 20 even when they were 3-0.
Yeah.
I dislike them so hard.
Wow. I know they were
Ryan
2-0.
Fitzpatrick is the easiest quarterback on my list to never win a Super Bowl.
Oh,
And
no, sir.
And guess what? You said no, sir,
Love Fitzmagic.
and he's gonna win a Super Bowl?
Maybe.
No. Jameis Winston is also added to that list.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Don't
Jameis
like him.
Winston's not
I
good.
loved him when he started. He was like Deshaun Watson for me back in the day. His rookie year, I got really excited, and then I rooted for him. I had him on my fantasy leagues, and then goodbye. Never saw him again after last year because he had a rough year last year. I remember dropping him. I think I've never seen him again.
Yeah. So, wow. Number 19, Washington Redskins.
Are we making our own power rankings, or are we going through? We're going through.
We'll go through.
Okay. Because I wasn't
Do we
prepared to
agree?
make my own.
Do we agree?
So, we should do a high-low. Let's do a high-low. Like, the Buccaneers should be higher or lower.
I think they're good where they're at.
You could say that too.
Yeah.
I think that's safe.
Or to be fun, we could make you say high or low. No? You wanna stay
Well,
low
no,
there?
because someone has to be
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Kind of a hot take.
I think-
I'm going high or low.
I
So I would say Bucks higher, just because I do not like that.
as in like lower,
As in lower.
yeah, like lower on the rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
As in, well, a higher number.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Got you.
So I would say like 22, 23.
I think the Redskins are too low here. I don't like 19. I take them higher, as in like 13, something like that. I mean,
The Bucks.
I don't understand.
They're
The
three.
Redskins.
Oh, Redskins.
Yeah.
They're 19.
19.
Okay. I don't like them so.
19.
But AP's proving himself.
Hey.
I would say 16, 17.
We're gonna bounce around here.
NFL Network has the Skins at 15.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah.
That's better.
I like that better.
So we say lower. Lower means lower to number one.
Yeah.
Like closer to number
Yeah.
one. Higher means higher up the.
We can come up with our own lingo at some point, just because it's too confusing.
Yeah, that's true.
How about we say closer to 1? And then closer to 32.
Yeah.
Alright. I think.
Alright, so I got Redskins closer to one.
Yeah, so,
Off the bye week. Who knows? It's too early for
I
them.
mean, if you wanna compare, ESPN has the Falcons above the Redskins. Do you take that?
I agree.
Wow. You do?
Yep.
I think the Falcons they should be closer to 32. I think you start 1-3 as the Atlanta Falcons with what you have, and the Redskins start 2-1 and beat
If we're
Aaron
going off
Rodgers.
of
NFL's got them at 18.
If we're going off of records, then yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll go up for records, and I just think the Redskins are playing pretty well, and the Falcons are just not.
They're not.
You know, I don't like them.
The fact that they're top 20, I don't like.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll take them top 20.
I don't think so.
I'd put them maybe at 20,
Do you want to?
based off of 1 and 3.
You want me?
So-
I'll tell you the bottom 12. And you tell me if I mean, I think said that 32 Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. 32, I saw.
I got the Bills
I got
there.
the Bills.
The Bills are
I
the
saw-
worst team.
NFL had Bills too,
Yeah.
or whatever one I saw.
Yeah, NFL has Bills, then Cards.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we got.
that's how it should be. But Cardinals are, yes, deserving at 31.
So just let me know if you.
Are we doing bottom 12? I thought we were doing 12 to 1.
No, I'm just doing like
Ah, okay.
the worst teams, and we'll see if you would put the Falcons behind any of these teams. Alright, so we got the Bills, the Raiders, the Jets at 29, the Giants at 28. Sorry, Greg.
Wow.
Sorry, Greg.
I didn't know about that one.
The 49ers at 27, the Texans at 26, the Lions at 25, the Colts at 24,
Giants.
the Browns at 23,
Giants are better than
the
Lions.
Seahawks at 22, Cowboys at 21. Would you flip-flop any of those picks?
Giants are above the. Giants are better than the Lions. I can tell you that for sure.
We won't talk about those.
We're talking about Falcons. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Who would you put above the
Would you
Falcons?
put the Falcons? No, I think the Falcons fit top 20.
I think so. It's just the 1-3 record is very.
I feel
Tough.
like. Who was 20?
20 was the Bucks.
The Buccaneers?
Buccaneers.
Better than the Falcons.
Yeah. That's
They're
true.
better than the Falcons.
I'll take that right now.
Yeah,
I'll take that right now.
I think so.
Alright, let's move on. Number 16, Los Angeles Chargers. I like them, man.
I don't like that they're Los Angeles Chargers. But that's neither here nor there.
I like this one. Pittsburgh Steelers 15.
Oh, no way.
What are you thinking? 17?
I'm dumping them. Ooh, dumping the Steelers.
Well, yeah.
We can say that.
The
We can
tie.
do pump or dump.
They have
Oh.
one win and a tie. Pump or dump?
Pump if you think they should be better. Dump if you think they should be like.
Lower.
Pump them up, yeah.
Yeah. I'm dumping the Steelers hard.
I wouldn't dump them hard. I would dump them though. I don't like the.
That's typical.
Yeah, just a little splash of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Steelers out of there. Yeah, I would say maybe top 20. I would say 20, maybe, to be fair. But because it's a tie, it's not a loss.
Right.
But one win is all they have. So
That's very
that's
true.
what you can go off of.
That's very true. Alright, before we get to the next stuff, If anyone's just tuning in, I want to let you guys know some events in the area. On Saturday, October 6th, if you're feeling the itch to go travel down to Philadelphia, there's the Philadelphia Dragon Boat Festival from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. That's at the Schuylkill River Trail. I imagine there's going to be a lot of boat racing, and there's going to be a celebration and demonstration of ancient Chinese boat racing. So it sounds very interesting. Again, it's this Saturday, October 6th, in Philadelphia, at the Schuylkill River Trail, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. All right, gentlemen, let's get back in. Steelers at 15, dumping them. You got reasons?
I just don't have, I think that as a team, they're just not there.
I gave my reason.
The whole Le'Veon
One win.
situation is just killing it for me.
Yeah. You know, I want to say that the Le'Veon situation isn't as big as it is, but we can see the Steelers should be 1-2.
No.
With Le'Veon Bell, they're 4-0.
James Conner's a great running back.
That's disagree.
I think he's a great replacement for what you got. You know what
Sure.
I mean? If anyone were to replace Le'Veon, I would want James Conner based on who's available, right?
What do you mean?
Based on who's available.
Like in the league?
Like if you had to pick somebody in free agency as a backup, you know,
Oh.
I would want James Conner. James Conner, I'm not saying he's a great running back, like in terms of running backs. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, he's a great backup for Le'Veon. Like, if you're losing Le'Veon, the best running back of our generation, I would want James Conner. I'd be okay with it.
Let me let you guys with this little like nuggets of stats, because this is why I don't like James Conner.
You know I love my nuggets.
This is why I don't like him. One game, he had a phenomenal first game where he had over like 160 yards rushing. Since then, against the Chiefs, the bottom defense in the league, 8 rushes, 17 yards. That's a 2.1 yard per carry. 15 rushes for 61 against the Buccaneers. That's 4 yards per carry, that's fine. Against the Ravens, 9 carries, 19 yards. 2.1 yards per carry. I just don't think he's there. I don't see it. To me, and this could be maybe, game script, maybe the Steelers have been down in their game so they're passing more, but 9 attempts, 15 attempts, 8 attempts, that's later above 20 plus. You know what I mean?
I mean, you'll never be able to replace that.
That's very true. I just.
But I think there's a lot of like running backs in the league that could be better.
I think so. You know what I would take? Based on this year right now, like someone like
Corey Clement.
Clement, he's a very good backup. Like one of those Lindsey or Freeman, one of
Yeah,
those Broncos.
but who saw Lindsey coming?
Yeah, that's true. But I get why people are high on him because he had that one great game, but it's one great game. I think we need to see more. It's too small a sample size.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go back to these rankings. 14. Yo, you guys don't like this one. 14, Miami Dolphins.
I'm here for it.
Dumping them.
Oh, John,
Dumping them.
Straight.
you
Straight.
like that there.
That's just sitting real cozy.
I see the dump. I see a little bit of a dump. I think.
Record-wise, you can't. Record-wise, it's hard to argue, but
Right.
as a team, I'm not impressed.
I think they're winning games because of their defense. Because if you look at their offense, they have Ryan Kenyon Drake, Kenny Stills. Those are the top players at the skill positions. I just don't see that team getting many more, unless the defense takes some places. I don't have too much faith in it. I mean, confidence.
I saw the Jets over them this year. As a total, I still could see that.
It's still
The
very
Jets
early.
over the Dolphins.
It's very early.
I see no competition within that division still. I see the Patriots winning that whole thing.
Patriots have been the easiest division in football for years.
Ever.
Why is it that they start out so flat all the time though? This is like the
I
second
think
year
it's
in a row
like-
they just start out flat. They just lose games.
Yeah, opened last year with a loss to Kansas City Chiefs.
It's just like 2 years in a row
No.
they've been like what?
I've noticed when they lose the Super Bowl, they kind of lose it. I remember seeing a newspaper clipping, I think it was maybe in a documentary or something on football, and it was talking about back in the day, it was like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and like the headline was like, how do you get rid of Belichick and get rid of Tom Brady? Like, they were being questioned highly, and that was coming off of a Super Bowl loss, I believe. And it's just, it seems like every year they lose the Super Bowl, they kind of lose their mentality
That's
a
very
little
true.
bit.
When they
They get
lost,
derailed.
when they lost last year, there was a lot of, is Belichick retired? Is Tom Brady leave? Is Gronkowski leave? If they won the Super Bowl, the whole script, it's just way different. You know, they're talking about, will Tom Brady do it again? You know what I mean? It would be a much different story.
Dynasty stuff.
Yeah. Let's go number 13, Minnesota Vikings. You pump or no?
I
I think
they're
they're fine there.
Yeah, you know,
I might even pump them. I think
I
they're a
was
really
thinking
good
the same
team.
thing. I was thinking the same
I think
thing.
Kirk Cousins he's throwing the ball really well.
I think they were
Do you guys?
disappointing against the Bills. That was
We don't even need to talk
insane.
about that.
What
That's-
I think that's important to talk about.
I mean,
It's insane.
I don't know.
Everyone took a nap.
I think it's I think it's one of those games. You know what I mean? It's just a
Everybody
fluke
took a
game.
nap.
I think it's a Ryan Fitzpatrick first 3 games of the season. Fluke. You know what I mean? It's just
That's a good point.
I don't. They got to Kirk Cousins multiple. Jerry Hughes got to Kirk Cousins multiple times in that game due to pressure. Kirk Cousins fumbles the ball twice for sacks. The line wasn't there. I don't understand what happened in the offense, but I think that's about. I think the Vikings just they can just forget that. However, they are 1-2-1, so that's not very good. I do think Kirk Cousins takes them far though. I think they go to playoffs. I don't think their defense isn't where it's supposed to be, but Kirk Cousins can throw the ball really well. It looks much better in purple lately.
I agree. Either way, I still don't like it.
Number 12, Tennessee Titans, who at last week were.
Oh, I might pump them up.
Yeah.
They beat my Eagles.
Yeah.
If you beat my Eagles, you get some credit.
I would definitely pump them.
They might
I
just
don't want to pump
scratch
them
top
too
10.
much, but they're
No. They might scratch top 10.
they're a solid team.
I would say 11 or 10. I don't want to get too overzealous or too excited about it.
However,
It's so early. It's hard to
Yeah.
like tell.
I mean, yeah.
It's early.
But I think the teams that they beat are still impressive.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
and if you guys think about it though,
their one loss is from a 6-hour delay.
yeah,
Dolphins, right?
yeah, rainy game.
That was
I think
disappointing.
Mariota gets hurt that game.
Yeah.
You know, so I got him like top 10. I got him top 10.
Yeah,
Who's their running back?
Deion Lewis and Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry
Has been the
is
most
a house.
Disappointing.
Yes,
He's
right.
the most disappointing
You
running
think?
back of this year.
You think so?
Yep.
His stats prove
His stats have been
he should be
garbage.
but he's
They
just not.
they favored
I guess one of the few
Deion.
times I've seen them,
They
it
favored
just looks like a house. It just
He
runs
is
people
a
over.
powerhouse.
They just favored Deion Lewis too much.
Yeah.
That's the only
They
problem.
utilize
He doesn't get enough carries. I have him in fantasy. I picked him early, and it's been rough. I've been considering dropping him. You can't trade him. He has no value. It's tough.
Yeah.
He's gotten 4 or 5 points every game.
Yeah, that's okay.
4,
Let's look at
4.5,
his
5,
stats.
5.5, maybe a 6-point game.
Derrick Henry on the year has a total of 150 yards in 4 games.
Wow, that's really bad.
So I mean, to be
He's a house. You're right. I didn't want to take away from that, but
He's huge.
he's an underutilized house.
He's-
He's a vacant house.
yes, he had a great year last year.
He's a house on
I
the
think
market.
The Titans are the reason why he's not performing as he should is because how much they utilize Deion Lewis in the pass game, and they constantly using Deion. But he's also not running that well. It's 2 games, Houston and at Jacksonville, 18, not very efficient. But he had a great year last year. I still see the upside potential, but right now it's not too good. Still put them at like 10 because they beat the Jaguars, they beat the Eagles. Those are big games. Those are big teams. And number 11 we got the Carolina Panthers.
Eh,
Number 10 Chicago Bears.
I love the Bears.
I think
I'm fine with them at 8. You said?
another 10. I'll pump them.
I'm pumped the Bears.
Yeah, I'm pumping them.
I'll pump the Braves. Pump them at, keep them at 10.
I will pump them because the Green Bay Packers are. And I think right now they're a better team than the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen are outstanding. I think Trubisky just protects the ball. They go for it. I think that the Khalil Mack is literally a team of defense in a player.
Yeah. And on top of that, they had a great defense before that. They had a good defense before that.
Yes, they did.
So just Khalil Mack boosting that. If they could somehow draw a cornerback out of this draft, this next draft upcoming, they're Super Bowl threat. Like a dead league cornerback, like an elite, or maybe get one off the free agency or something. I think if they get a great secondary, like an outstanding, they have good safety, right?
Yeah, Adrian Amos.
Yeah.
He's great.
So he's good. They have great pass rush, great linebackers. Their linebackers are crazy good.
Yep. Yeah.
Just need it secondary, I think.
So I'm gonna zoom through
Yeah.
bottom 9. We'll talk about it.
Let's do it.
Because it looks pretty good. Number 9, Green Bay Packers.
Don't.
Number 8.
No.
Ooh.
What's
sorry.
their record? 2-2?
2-1-1.
2-1-1. I don't like the tie.
It's just hard
I would
to dump Aaron Rodgers.
I would. You know what I would do?
Yeah.
Switch the Bears and the Packers.
Yeah, I would do
If
that.
the Bears
That's
played
fair.
the Packers right now, have they played them?
Yeah, they lost to them. Remember Aaron Rodgers came out.
Oh,
bum leg,
yeah.
Throws absolute.
First game of the year. It's rough. But I say, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think right now.
I would switch them. It's tough too because they lost to them,
At number
but
8,
that makes sense.
Bengals. Number 7, Ravens. Number 6, Eagles. I actually dumped the Eagles here.
Yeah.
What?
I dumped the Eagles here.
I'm an Eagles fan.
I'm
2-2.
Dumping hard.
You're 2-2, and you're above the Packers, who are 2-1-1. That's automatically questionable.
and you're above the Bengals.
Still top 10.
3.
They're still top 10,
You're
but
still
8, 9,
8, 9.
Who's
Yeah.
top 10?
Eagles.
Eagles.
No shot.
Crazy.
Not top 10. They're not a top 10 team.
11. Would you give them 11?
NFL Network puts them at 12.
I wouldn't see. You know what my problem is? I wouldn't argue that. But
Yeah.
I'm an Eagles fan. They gotta be tough. They're Super Bowl champs. Give them their
I
respect.
think that's why they're so high.
No, I
That's why
think
they're
for
12.
sure.
Yeah. I don't understand how.
I do. I called this from the start. I don't know if I told you specifically.
Yeah, you
I
did.
remember saying this to everybody I knew. I was like, everyone's hyped on the Eagles still, and I'm very concerned. I didn't know how Wentz would perform. He's great. Now it's our O-line, and receivers are the biggest question mark. I would do anything to get rid of Jordan Matthews. I don't like that guy.
It's kind of crazy.
I have respect for him, but it's just,
They were like, we're so excited to have him back. Like, you drop him because he drops some passes, and then the first game back, he does have a great catch and run, but
Anybody
it's a
could
wide
have it.
open catch and run.
anybody could, it was blown coverage.
Yeah, and it's a wide open catch and run, and then he drops a key pass late in the game.
Oh,
And that's like
huge key
That's
pass.
like, dude, that's his MO.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, it's drop passes.
I would have preferred, this is my hot take, I would have preferred Macklin over him.
Ooh.
And Macklin isn't even healthy
He's a free agent.
all the
too.
time. No, yeah, he's a free agent. I think he might be healthy right now, but he is never healthy for a full year.
Yeah.
And I still would have probably preferred him over
They have
Jordan
him on
Matthews.
Chiefs. when he's
Just because I don't have a bad taste in my mouth about Macklin,
Yeah.
other than it being the chip era. I don't want to talk about that, but Jordan Matthews
That's for
with
another
the-
show.
with the
I
bad
just
taste in my
don't
mouth.
see the Eagles as a top 10 team. They beat who? They barely beat the Falcons on one of the ugliest games.
They barely beat the
We
Colts.
we
They barely
always,
beat the Colts.
Colts
the
was a rough
Colts.
game. I hated watching the game. I don't think I did watch them. I think I turned it off.
Lost to the Buccaneers. And now just lost to the Titans, which are a good team. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't see anything top 10 for. I mean, I think they're a good team, and I think they could potentially be good this season.
I do see a lot of people
Not-
being
not-
hypercritical on a team that's waived with injuries.
Right. But, I mean, injuries is injuries. It's your team, it's your team. Who you got is who you got.
That's why they're still top 6.
But they're not. They can't be.
No, I think I'm 11.
They can't be a top 10 team.
The
You
problem-
can't be 2-2 only beating bad teams and be a top 10
I
team.
think injuries. I mean that's part of the rankings. You know what I mean? So you
Yeah, that's part
factor
of
those
it.
in. So I think right now their team. I think they're 11, maybe 10. I just don't think that the defense is playing good enough. I mean, they give up 15. That's number 5. New England Patriots. Number 4, New Orleans Saints. 3, Jags. Number 2, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 1, Rams.
Automatically, I would have the Rams. They're the Saints higher. Saints were 5, 4. And who was 3?
Jags.
I would have Saints over Jags. Hot take.
Yep. No, that's not even a hot take. I'll take that because the
They're
offense
3
is
and
better.
1.
They're both 3 and 1.
They're both 3 and 1. I would just put the Saints over.
Saints have a better offense, more reliable quarterback. More
The way it's
consistent.
looking, I got Drew Brees going to the Super Bowl.
I honestly love that because the Giants aren't going and Drew Brees is
You know
my
what?
favorite quarterback.
You know what I would love? Matchup wise? Patriots and Jags for your AFC. Rams and Saints,
yeah. I was
for your
gonna say
NFC.
that. I was gonna say
That would be a killer. As
Yeah.
long as both teams are healthy, Fournette's back and Drew Brees is 100% and everyone's 100% on both teams. Because
Mhm.
you want Marcus Peters, Talib's
That keeps
out.
it big. Yeah, he's
He's
out.
on injury reserve.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you can bring them. You
Yeah,
can bring
bring
2
him
players back.
Yeah.
He might come back. Actually, he should come back. I think they said it was a 6 to 8 week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that would be a killer. Either that or Saints Eagles. I don't want to see Eagles and Rams. That would be a rough game. I would arguably not watch that game just because of how scared I am of the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams are monsters.
And the Rams are how Wentz got injured, same team, so.
I like the Rams at number 1. They're an easy one for me. Defense and then offense. Jared Goff is
This is the Golden State Warriors of football.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I like the Chiefs at 2. I love them there, actually. I think that's perfect for them. You have the league's top or second rated offense.
I don't even think that's an argument. There's like a debate for them to be number 1, almost. Because the Rams have beat who?
The
Jags and.
No, the Jags lost to the Titans. So
What?
the Rams beat the Vikings.
Yeah,
Chargers.
unimpressive.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
These are teams that are. They beat the Chargers, the Vikings. That's it. The Chargers, the Vikings, the Cardinals, and the Raiders. Those first 2 games are just bum teams.
Yep. Who did the Chiefs beat?
Steelers.
Steelers.
Chargers, Steelers.
Yo, my hot take. Chiefs are number 1.
Chargers, Steelers, Niners with Garoppolo. He got injured in the 4th quarter.
I
So
think my power rankings would have the Chiefs sitting number 1.
I honestly would put them there because of the defense.
Yeah,
The
but we're not.
defense is-
Power ranking is going off of who you beat and your record.
I think Patrick Mahomes is matchup proof.
It's just based off the record and who you beat, usually.
I think Patrick Mahomes beats the Jags this week. I think the Rams lose. Who they playing?
The Rams.
Rams, they play the. They play the Seahawks.
No, there's not a chance. The Rams are 5-0.
So here's a question: if the Chiefs beat the Jags, Rams beat the Seahawks.
Chiefs are number 1.
Chiefs number 1.
Chiefs number 1.
If the Chiefs beat the Jags, they're the best team.
No, because then it's Rams and Chiefs. Who's the best? Because they still haven't beat the
I'll
Rams.
say they're
But
tied for first.
for power rankings wise, yeah, I think you're right. Chiefs are
Yeah. If they beat the Jaguars. Right now, I'm
It's
going
a
to
tough test.
It's going to be a big game.
Did we say the Patriots were 5?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Where you put them? I know you're
the
done.
Saints.
I would say 6.
Not above the. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying
Six.
higher.
Who they have at 6?
I believe it was Eagles. Yeah, I'll put it at 6. But we'll move other people around.
I think I got the Bears higher up in the top 10, honestly. I think they're a really good team.
I will put.
I'm not even doing power rankings.
Yeah,
at this
that's
point.
that's what I'm saying. A lot of times you guys aren't.
Yeah.
It's not like an actual power rankings where it's like record and who the teams would beat.
Yeah.
Well, then the power rankings are just the power rankings. They can't really argue the power rankings.
You can.
Can you?
Yeah. Who they beat? Because it's still. There's an NFL one, and then there's an ESPN
So why are they
one.
different if it's just record and who they
Just
beat?
because
Shouldn't
it's
that be simple?
how you feel like the team that they beat is compared to like I don't know how to
So then
explain.
isn't that what we're doing?
No, you guys
Bears are
no
just-
because like I heard the Eagles shouldn't be top 10 because of the 4th and 15 play, which like you don't go off of plays, you go off of like the victory or
Yeah,
loss, and then the Drew, you said the Saints defense, right? Or the Chiefs defense?
Yes, Tim.
Yeah. But it's based off of record and who they beat and who they lost to.
But I think the Eagles, if we go by that, the Eagles have only beaten the Colts and Falcons.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that. I wasn't saying that as an argument.
Yeah, I know.
I was just saying like to stick with the
But now
topic.
that I'm going like with the wins then,
Yeah.
I think they're even lower. Yeah, I like 12.
Yeah, I mean, as an Eagles fan, I'm not saying that. I'm saying top 10
Yeah.
because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm biased, but I would say 12 isn't arguable.
Alright, well, everyone, this has been Fan Talk. This is WXAC 91.3 College Radio. Hope to catch you guys here next Wednesday, same time.
See you guys.
See ya. See ya.